Work extremely hard, but only on things you enjoy so as not to waste time. Working hard on things you don't enjoy is wasteful. You're just trading your time and effort for later momentary pleasure, and it balances out into neutral nothingness. The later pleasure is not even guaranteed. Most things in life don't work out how you expect. People grind their lives away only to still have no money. Pretty much everyone I know has worked their whole lives and their money ends up dripping away regardless. Bill here, bill there, car repair there, petrol, clothes, other comforts and foods you need to get by, because if you don't, you feel like your life is passing by. If I slap you, then hug you. How does that feel? Was the slap worth it? It's never worth it. It's never even guaranteed to lead to pleasure. You're trading what precious time you have in hope of attaining some time later on. It makes no sense. I spend my time making my own game because I love it. Maybe one day my game will make me rich, but you know what I'll do if it does? Exactly what I'm already doing. Most people don't enjoy their time. They work hard, then get home from work and can't even fully relax before it's time for bed, and they're just dreading getting up. Even when they're on holiday, they know it ends in endless work, so they're just anxious the whole time. It honestly feels like everyone is brainwashed to just work their lives away. The vast majority of those people won't even see the day they're desperately working for. Your fears are reasonable, but also, they are not real. You are safe and you are warm, and this could be a reality of peace and comfort for you if you let it be. All is perspective. This could be hell, but this could be heaven. You just have to take control of your perspective, see the good. All we can do is try. Reincarnation. It's another chance. You get infinite chances to awaken. It's inevitable. You will awaken, if not in this life, then in the next. But awakening is not so important. Even the most awakened or enlightened beings, supposedly, eventually choose to return. Such that life is a fun ride in many ways. These things just are. They aren't bad or good. They're a cycle of existence. Who knows? Maybe we are all wrong, and none of this exists at all. To spend your life worrying about stuff is to waste the ultimate gift. Whatever happens, whatever will come, right now, things aren't so bad. There's balance. Yes, there's evil, but there's also good. In a perfect world, this is exactly as it would be, as balance is perfection. You cannot have good without bad. It's simply impossible. Thoughts are very much a product of your environment. So many things influence your thoughts. There's not really any one thing that impacts it. Information is absolutely everywhere. False information is far more prevalent than factual information. And the vast majority of information in your brain would not be something I'd call knowledge. More like delusion or abstract concepts. It's mostly full of things that don't exist at all. Thoughts can come from what we know, but they can also be quite abstract, fantasy, delusional. The vast majority of the time, they are all three. Your experience of the world itself is very disconnected from reality, so the very foundation of your thoughts is deeply flawed to begin with. This flaw stacks as thoughts get more complex, as they become more removed from the very simple nature of reality. This is because thoughts do not represent reality. They represent the rational functioning of a brain that's trying to rationalize reality, which is impossible, but very important for survival and a natural result of evolution. Like, weird example, but a chair. Chairs do not exist. Chairs are a name given to a piece of wood you sit on. But wait, wood is a name given to a form of dead plant, but a plant is a name given to a bundle of cells, but cells are a name given to an arrangement of atoms. You get the idea. When you dig and dig, none of the things we consider real are real. They're conceptual, labels and words applied to things we don't even experience on their deepest level or directly on any level. The world of labels you've built inside your head, the place where chairs are chairs. In the end, thoughts are information, but more specifically the translation and formation of information. Electrical signals hitting neurons in the brain. The electricity travels from concept to concept, with each concept being connected to other concepts based on real connections from your experiences. The more these connections are used, the stronger they become. Thoughts are so unfathomably complex. There's likely millions of connections being made just for each individual word you think of. Many of them you can feel. Anytime you have a feeling that has a name, let that feeling come out and be seen and felt. Relax and get in touch with the feeling, and forget what it's called. It has a name because it's a dimension of the story you caught up in. Forget the story. Forget what the feeling means or what it's about. It's just feeling. There is nothing to be done with it. Let feelings flow on their own. They appear on their own. They will pass on their own. Maybe they come back. Maybe they don't. Either way is fine. If you keep looking at the feeling like it's telling you something is wrong, nothing will change. Trying to convey experience with words is like attempting to capture water in a net. It slips through, no matter how tightly we weave it. Language, by its very nature, divides and categorizes, which is why we talk about oneness or duality as if they were truly separate. But the truth is, the moment we try to describe something, we're already missing it. It's like pointing at the moon. If you get too fixated on the finger, you miss the beauty of the moon itself. Even if we could upload and download sensations, would it be your experience? Or merely a shadow of it, like watching a film of a beautiful sunset versus standing in its glow yourself? The paradox is that while we long to share our deepest experiences, they remain intimate, unique, like waves on the ocean that are never truly separate from the water itself. Maybe that's the cosmic joke. We can never fully convey the experience because the point was never to share it, but to simply be in it. Reset and renew by returning to the present, then take action from this very moment and not repeat subconscious patterns. Literally, do something completely new that's not part of your routine. To ease yourself in, the activity doesn't have to be different, but to do it differently. If you're right-handed, do everything left-handed. If you eat at a particular time, switch it up. Get a different hairstyle, wear different clothes you don't normally wear, listen to different music, etc. This exercise is developing your ability to explore and experiment so you can discover new things that may have gone stagnant from being conditioned by the egoic mind. A shift in perspectives is a shift in consciousness. As you experience new things, you'll inevitably expand your perspective, thus expanding your consciousness. To not go around in circles is to break the pattern and create a new one, until that's making another loop for which to break again. Evolving is ongoing, so there's no end to growth. Remind yourself, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? Do you want the pain of regret, trauma, or the pain from self-discipline? One is pain that's not serving your highest self, while the other is growing pains. What do you choose? If you think Earth is a bad reality or planet, keep in mind that it's really not. Even if it was, from the perspective of the characters in the comic, they are the players. The more drama, the better. They do not connect to the emotional suffering in a literal sense. The idea that we do not want to be here, but must to learn, is one that lacks gratitude and wisdom. You are here to enjoy your life and be happy, the way only a human can. We are experience, and all of our suffering is the coolest horror movie in the universe. So cool that we all went and bought a ticket. Out there in the infinite realms of possibilities will always live worse. I can imagine infinitely worse planets, even from the perspective of a human. It seems to me that Earth is balance. Everything works in contrast, and sometimes having great things in your life can make the negatives more pronounced and exaggerated. Understanding this balance in our perspective and emotions is really important. Forcing unpleasant situations on yourself is absolutely fantastic for health. Discomfort breeds comfort. Everything works in contrast. A bad moment makes the next seem better. Doing things you don't want to do is extremely important for mental health. Our mind will always find problems. It's what it does best. Even when things are going great, just watch. It'll find something to complain about. Try watching your thoughts throughout the day and see if you can see it doing this. Anytime you find your thoughts complaining, look at that skeptically. If you were to trade places with some poor soul in a third world country, would that person see what you are going through as a problem? Ultimately, we all are going to die at some point. It can happen anytime, anywhere. After realizing that what problems can one really have? We are just tourists here. From the lens of non-duality, the idea that we're nothing and that legacy is nothing isn't necessarily nihilistic, but rather a recognition that all these concepts of achievement, status, and legacy are just illusions created by the mind. When we strip away our attachment to ego and the need for recognition, what's left is simply being, without the need to leave a mark or be remembered. In Buddhism, there's also the idea that attachment to things like legacy is a source of suffering because it ties us to the illusion of permanence. In the end, if we are all just part of a continuous cycle of life, death, and rebirth, what's the point of clinging to something as fleeting as a legacy? It's like trying to leave your footprint on water. Maybe life, it's like Groundhog Day movie, and until you get it right, you're doomed to come back, like some weird form of hell, meaning that thinking about it could have practical benefit in escaping the cycle. Scientifically, if you believe in the Big Bang, then it's highly likely the universe is some kind of infinite loop of Big Bangs, with each universe being completely new and random. But here's the thing. With infinite time, it's guaranteed that this universe, atom for atom, will happen again, exactly as it has already. No matter how unbelievably unlikely it is, given infinite chances, it becomes a mathematical certainty. In other words, as far as science is concerned, this theory is a mathematical certainty. The only real question is whether or not the you that repeats is a continuation of your consciousness, or a new consciousness experiencing your life. Consciousness is the universe. Everything is just perspective. Labels aren't real, and neither are concepts. Wood is not wood, stone is not stone. They're just atoms, and they're not even atoms either. They're concepts held within the mind, a mind that itself could be a dream. God is watching. His only thoughts are our thoughts. We are the deaf and blind God, dreaming ourselves an existence, clinging onto ourselves because it's all we have, creating heaven and hell all at once and sitting in the middle. This is it. This is reality, and it doesn't get better or worse. It's all grey, and even in death it becomes even greyer. There's no good or bad at the end of this tunnel, but the potential infinite that causes all things to be certainties, guaranteeing your existence not as something that is necessary or emergent, but inevitable. The trick is to accept it all, let go of attachment, and die. I believe you can stretch out those final moments, like sitting in the tunnel, looking at the light at the end, refusing to move on. But eventually you always forget. Always. If you could dream infinite dreams, you'd dream all of the pleasures and exciting things you could think of, but eventually you'd have run out of things to do and you'd say, "Now I don't want to know what happens next. I don't want to know what I am or who. I want something completely new." And then you woke up where you are right now in this life of yours. Life is the ultimate gift. It's the ultimate roller coaster. We humans do not shy away from pain as we think we do. We love to witness it, watch it, horror movies, games, we love it. This is the perspective of consciousness. It cares not about labels, it just wants drama. It loves the great drama or somethingness of it all. The more complex, the better. In ways, this is a path to enlightenment, understanding the pleasure in pain, yin and yang. But such is the journey that you'd be a fool to wish for an end, especially one such as enlightenment.